All right, let's talk about retention system, guys. It's so important that we keep the clients that we sell, that we're able to serve them long term, and that we're able to really help to maintain a relationship with them that's positive in order to keep doing business with them long term, so that we're able to then bring on more clients than we're losing, and we're able to keep a steady client base so we can rely on that. So guys, it's not just about delivering good results or getting good ad results. Some clients that have the best ad results end up leaving. Meanwhile, the ones that have mediocre results will end up staying. So it's not really about that at all. It's about trust and ROI. And if the trust isn't there, built through communication, built through synergy, understanding that we care, then the communication isn't going to even be, or the ROI isn't even going to be recognized, because they're going to be just, for whatever reason, saying it doesn't work in their mind, giving up on it, not doing their part, things like that. So we have to get them to trust us in order to buy into the process. Always be selling ABCs, always be closing. You're always going to be selling and closing them on doing the work, essentially, like committing to the service. We're always going to be selling them on that. We're always going to be having to get them to commit, to get them to buy in, to get their team to buy in. And that's how we're going to create long-term champion clients for life. Okay, so retention overall, we have some things that we're doing as far as week to week to make sure that we are maintaining a good relationship with the clients. Let me just send that over. Weekly check-ins. The weekly check-ins are great. We have a framework for that. So I'm going to link the video of like how we do the weekly check-ins and everything right here. We have a bunch of examples of those, but these are super key. And you want to do it in a cadence where first week of new month, halfway through first week of new month, halfway through month results. And then 1 week, 7 days results. And then it should be the 4th week. So then full month results. So 3 weeks out of the month, we're sending them a weekly report. And then on the last week of the month, we're sending them a full month results. So if it's at the beginning of the week where the end of the month is, then we're just going to send over the full report, no problem. If it's towards the end of the week, we want to send out these check-ins Monday morning before noon EST. Actually, we can do MST for right now, but ideally EST, really, because they're later. But that's 2 EST, so we can do that. Monday morning before noon MST, weekly check-ins. First week of new month. So hey, here's the first 7 days of the week report. Halfway through the month, hey, here's the 14 days of the month so far, month results. 7 days after that, hey, check it out. In the last 7 days, we've been able to provide this. And then full month results. So, hey, over the last 30 days, we've been able to do this for you, XYZ. So, yeah, if it's at the end of the week where the month falls and we're doing the Monday report, then what we're going to do is on Monday, you just send like a pretty chill, kind of check-in. Doesn't really have to be a report, and then start preparing the full report to be delivered by the end of the week. Okay. The month-long one. Okay. So that's how we do the Monday morning check-ins. And then also Wednesday follow-up message. So like Wednesday following up on the report, but really every day check in Slack. Every day check in Slack. And basically, if there's something that they didn't respond to, just following up on this. Hey, just following up on this. And making sure you saw this. If there's something that we missed, like if it's something that our team needs to deal with, then that's when we need to take their message and send it in our client communications channel so that we can address that as a team. If it's something the client said that maybe you don't have an answer to. As you follow up with clients and respond to things, you can respond promptly, like get back to them, but they don't need like a whole full reserved answer right away. So you could just respond to support requests like hey client, we will check into this and get back with you ASAP. Tag the person that is in charge of that, or send the message in the client discussion channel. Okay, so every day we're checking through Slack, just making sure they follow up on this. And reporting red, yellow, green if you are struggling to get someone to respond or connect after 1 to 2 weeks. They should be dropping something in the Slack at least once a week. Sometimes we can't expect more than that. And some people are going to do it once every 2 weeks, but if it's less than that, then we probably have a connection issue, or at least we want to make sure we've touched base with them, that we ask them, hey, we don't really see you active in the Slack. We find clients that do the best with us use the Slack a lot, so just want to make sure, like, do you have it downloaded on your phone? Stuff like that. Wednesday follow-up message just can be like a Wednesday motivation, like a happy Wednesday. Hope the sun is shining. Like, it can be just like motivational, checking in, asking for feedback, responding back on process. And if we haven't talked to someone in a while, then we're going to want to schedule a one-on-one call, or maybe give them a TLC call, right? So those are the basics of the weekly reporting and how we're going to be communicating with the clients on a regular basis. The monthly reports, we have a specific framework for those. And I'm going to link that system and template here. But basically, it's just a summary where we dig into their CRM account, we dig into the ads, and we also show some of the optimizations we've made and some of the things for them. And then we include a Loom video as well. So it's pretty intense, not going to lie, but it's pretty sick too, because each one of them becomes like a miniature case study. And then we can just stack all those in the client folder. And then we've got, a lot of data, a lot of reports. Okay, so building trust and rapport, guys, how to win friends and influence people. If you haven't checked this book out, I'd highly recommend it, listening to it or getting it right away as soon as you can, because when you're what it talks about and how to win friends and influence people is basically remembering what people truly care about, and that's honestly themselves. And people are just inherently always looking out for themselves. It's how we're wired, programmed, and it's just in general what we care about. So, in this book, it teaches how to figure out what people care about the most and get them to open up to you about that, get them talking to you, and then they'll like you because you listen to them. And so the idea of gaining trust isn't about, hey, trust me, trust me, trust me. It's talking to them and actually asking the right questions so that they open up to you. And then that builds trust because they feel like they've shared something with you. So make sure to check that book out. That's a super sick book for managing clients, sales, Even working with a team, working through different situations, like getting a raise, different things like that. So super, super important to check this out and really dive into that. If not, at least check out a summary and get the idea and start to implement that book. It's timeless book, super well known. Phone calls is needed to reduce complexity and increase efficiency. Guys, we get so wrapped up in the tech and the text and the Slack and everything else. It's okay to just call a client for 2 minutes and just say, hey, we just need to know if these ads that we sent you are good to run on the campaign. Did you look at them? Oh, yeah, I'll look at them. Okay, can you just pull up the Slack real quick? Do you see them over here? Tell me, how do those look? Oh, those look good. All right, great. We're going to push that live. Let's touch base in 1 week and see how that's going. Awesome. I'll set up the call. Great. We'll talk to you. Boom. Okay. Or it can be something even more chill, just like, hey, client, just checking in. Is it a good time? Cool. Awesome. So I just wanted to make sure real quick that you're getting these leads. We've generated, seems like about 10 in the past day, and want to make sure you're following up. I see a lot of replies in the CRM. Oh, yeah, I'm following up, or oh, no, I'm not. Okay, let's get you set up with a guide. Let's get you the resources you need, that kind of thing. Or it could even just be something where it's just like, ring, ring. Hey, client, hadn't heard from you or your team in a few days. Wanted to check in and make sure that you guys are all good. Hoping that you're just really busy from all the leads we're sending you. Yeah, we're just busy. We're meaning to get back to you, blah, blah, blah. Okay, perfect. Boom. Click. Okay, so those are some different ways that you could just, or some different conversations that you could just have with the client, that it's back to that 80-20 principle. It's 20% of the thing we do that produces 80% of the result. It's clear communication, it's efficient, because if you schedule a one-on-one Zoom call to catch up and stuff, then it puts something else on their calendar, it puts something else on our calendar. It's too much. Okay, so guys, really take this principle in. You're always either putting pressure on someone or taking pressure off something or someone. So when you're calling someone and you're like, hey, can we schedule a Zoom? Can we sit down at your computer and do a screen share and all these things? It feels like, wow, that's putting a lot on me. Oh, we need you to get your guys to do videos. We need you to, go and do these things, like, and especially if we're not holding them accountable or giving them a plan or a script, then it becomes really hard. So instead, we need to come in and we need to just make it super simple, where lost my train of thought for a second here, trying to gather it. I got so many things rattling around in here. When you call them, that's the 20% that provides 80% of the results, because we're moving things forward, we're talking with them, and we're really connecting with them, and we're showing them, oh, we're taking pressure off them. So that's where my point was. That's where I lost my train of thought. So we're taking the pressure off them because we're saying, hey, here's the thing we need. Let's just take care of this now. Okay, awesome. We got it. We'll take care of the rest. It's done. Boom. We took a lot of pressure off. We didn't add anything to the calendar. If anything, we can take things off the calendar. Say you need to schedule a one-on-one with a client. What if you could just call them and deal with it just the same day? Okay, so you have to use your discretion, but certain issues, like, the whole team will be stoked if you're just like, oh yeah, I called this client and this and this and this, and we just need to get this going. And oh, Nate, can you call and talk to him about this? That's it. Okay. So always make sure when you call someone, you ask them, hey, am I catching it at a good time? And you set the agenda of, hey, just calling you, just want to check in, make sure everything's going good. And then when you're on the client calls, I like to just pull up their Slack channel. And the way that I like to do it is I like to just, so let's say that I'm on a call with All Access here. I'd like to just pull up their stuff right here, and then I'll just make a little dash and then a space, and then I'll say client is doing good, wants more high intent leads, wants more bookings, blah, 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 whatever they want. I'll write it here, and then we'll go over those notes in either a client success meeting, or we'll turn those notes into tasks in Trello for the team to do and a project to confirm with the clients. Okay. Slack communication one-on-one. We already went kind of deep on this. Let me move this around a little bit. Boom and boom. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So make sure they adopt Slack, getting them to send us a message back, getting their team installed in Slack, that kind of thing. Responsiveness and communication, common messages. We have some that we listed out here. Right. So we already talked about that. Let's look inside of a Slack channel at some of the weekly reporting. Here's an example. Hey, we hope that you're having a good day, highlighting, the progress we're making together, and we highlight some key performance indicators, and then we take screenshots of both the ads from that section, from that time period, and then also some key, messages in the CRM and things like that to highlight to the clients. And we'll even ask them specifically, how things are going as far as, did you get a hold of individual lead here or there and that kind of thing. Okay. So, you want to go through, like, if you're the account manager that's managing Slack, you want to go through every morning and just check through this stuff. And like, if there's something like this, that needs to be updated, like, look, this has no response. Like, it has my response right here, but it doesn't have any response from the team. So like, this is something where an account manager needs to go and jump on this and tag the right people involved and make sure that they can see all this, and that we're taking care of this. Um, Okay. I don't know why it's sent like that. Generally, I would just reply in the thread like this and then just tag them. I don't know why it had me send a message. Um, but there's that. So just always checking in and making sure that the check-ins are super relevant and everything to what they've got going on in their specific situation, following up on the strategy that we're working out with them, the process, checking in on how things are going and everything like that. Okay. So schedule one-to-one client Zoom reviews at least once per month minimum, at least with somebody from their team, just to get on Zoom and sorry. Just to get on Zoom and go over the process, show them what we're running for them, and just help them to be aware if they need anything else, that how everything's set up, and coaching them too. With the for with speaking with clients, sometimes it needs to just turn into a strategy call where you just basically go reverse back and you pretend that they're not already a client, and you just go back to discovering more about them. So, like finding out the 4 Ws, where are they? Where do they need/want to be? Why there? What's the vision? Like, what do they really want out of all all that? Um, what's stopping them? What have they tried? For how long? Boom. And just understanding these things will really give somebody a lot of trust in you. This is what we ask on the sales calls basically. It's not really 4 Ws. The 4 Ws comes from the POD program where it just says like where they are, where they want to go, what's stopping them, and what have they tried to fix it. So that's understanding someone's situation thoroughly. You can ask those different questions and they're gonna really give you a good picture, and then we're gonna understand the opportunities through that. So, taking the notes, getting the strategy calls down, getting ideas, and then just collaborating with them. So remembering our 3 pillars are paid ads, database management and reactivation, and automated follow-up. So can we do a database reactivation campaign for them? Do they have a list that we could blast? Do they want to get reviews? There's so many different things that we can offer. And in the fulfillment section, I'm going to really unpack that stuff. So, that's pretty much it for retention as far as week to week, just making sure we're communicating with them, reporting consistently in the Slack channel, sending the monthly reports so they have those, and then also, having the phone calls. And I want to do a lot of volume of those guys. Like I honestly want it to be like our clients are like, dang, my marketing guy's calling me. Like, let me just call him real quick. Like let me just talk to him. Like I want it to be comfortable for them. So, yeah, the phone calls and then the one-to-one client reviews and Zooms. So we've got that, and just sometimes going full-blown strategy call and just going back to the drawing board. What are you guys doing? And why there? What's the vision? What's getting to X going to allow you to do that you are currently unable to? So we can understand how we can bridge that gap. All right, so that's retention. Let's talk a little bit about fulfillment now. So, whenever there's uh, a client who is needing a new task, okay? So let's say a client needs a new task. How do we do that? So we're gonna go into the task and project management board right here. So okay, let's even go further. Let's say hey, we need to give let's say we've got a client already right here, like Tesla, for example. Let's say we did a call with them and they are all ready to launch, except they need to have the integration fully synced and set up targeting. So so then I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna go new client team task, and I'm gonna go Tesla Healing Center launch. Pull it up. We're just waiting for integration to launch this campaign. Please make sure the lead opt-ins notifications are integrated. Okay, so let's just say I could put it here. This isn't going to be perfect, guys. And then I'm going to save that. And then checklist. I can make a checklist even if I want to. Put opt-in messages, calendar / appointment, reminders, integration, test, and notify team. Okay, and this needs to be done by tomorrow. Actually, this whole thing needs to be done. So I go to dates. This whole thing needs to be done by tomorrow. Let's do like noon tomorrow. Boom. And I'm going to assign that to Nyan. Make sure that I got the notifications on for it. And boom. Okay, so we've got that. Now, as Nyan starts it, he's going to move it over here. Boom. And if he, we don't need any of these. Let me just take these out. Okay, so then when Nyan's done, he's going to mark it as complete and he's going to move it over to done. If he's working on it and he needs a couple days, he's going to move it over to there and it's going to move over there when he's done. If you have something that we need to strategize or map out, like for example, new wave, strategy to increase by 5 to 10 more sales per month. Okay, we need to strategize that out. So that's going to be something where we come in here, we figure out what's that going to take. Boom, put that in here, you know. Top of my head, optimize Dana, Rev Auto, something that we have to talk about. So just putting things off the top of my head that need to get done, you know. And then those things are in there. So those are day-to-day tasks like projects and tasks. Then when it comes to the client stages, this is just where we keep general you know, we keep general like the stages straight. So keeping in mind where everybody's at in their individual stages. So boom. And so this just keeps processes standard with clients and things like that where hey, like Ben Sporn, it's been a while. Let me give him, let's schedule a one-on-one call with him. Okay, so that's where we keep track of all that. And then if a client needs something in particular, like New Wave, for example, you know, right here we've got all their docs connected, and we've got some different ads like, you know, Salmon added in here that he wants to start using. Confirm leads are going to their system, things like that. So, you know, we can have individual tasks for clients that we pop into here. But the things that are more dynamic are going to go into projects. And guys, this is a system that we'll be working out a lot to make it make sense and to make it be as easy as possible for you guys. All right. Okay, so that's how you add a task when the client requests it and as needed. And then if you need to follow up, you can follow up right on the card by going in and going to activity and saying, hey, what's up with this? And then I could just, I think, oh, I can tag people in that and everything. But yeah, you guys get the point with that. So, close out of this. How we audit and optimize client campaigns, that'll be its own training. Let me just highlight the things that I'm going to build out its own training for and make sure that we have those down so that I know what to do. Okay, got it. Cool. All right, got that. So fulfillment team client success overview strategy meeting. So every week, you're gonna meet if you're the client success manager with the media buyer, and you guys are going to go over ways to optimize the campaigns, make them more successful, talk with other people on the team like me or other coaches or other people that are going to be working on the campaign and that you might need to strategize with. But basically, in those frameworks, we're just going to get on and we're going to talk, okay, what does this guy need? What does that guy need? And there's going to be, when it's an overview meeting, it's literally like, should be like 5 minutes each person. So, overview, 5 minutes each person. Like, what do they need? Are they good? Yes, they're good. Do we need anything for them? Let's try to do this. Let's get in touch with them. Okay, got it. And this, you would be taking notes in the client list, right? You'd be doing an overview, red, yellow, green in the client list, and focusing there on next steps and what needs to be done and who we need to do some work on. Then if there's people that we actually have to do some work on, then we're going to, let me plug this in up here. Then we are going to do team client fulfillment, get shit done sessions. So a GSD is get shit done. So team client fulfillment, get shit done sessions. This would be if we were on the client list overview and we saw Brian and Brian's red and we're like, what does he need? He says he wants to book more appointments. He's got a problem with the calendar and his lead flow is kind of low. Then we're going to meet on an actual meeting and we're going to carve out 30 minutes to an hour for just that campaign. And we're going to just get shit done. We're just going to be optimizing, split testing, and basically just hashing it out, just doing more work, just adding things in there, just making it more aggressive, through our skills and through our marketing principles, in our fulfillment system. What can we layer on? How can we get them better results? Right. So with that, yeah, you guys get the point. Okay, so main KPIs, key performance indicators to remember every day. These are ways that you can just go through, ask yourself, is this client good? Is this client bad? Do we need something from them? Okay, number one, ask yourself, is the client getting good results from our perspective? Okay, like cost per lead, cost per booking, significant responses in the CRM, good margins in terms of cost per appointment ratios, compared to what they're going to make for selling a client and conversions, looking at things like that. So are they getting a good results from our perspective? If yes, what can we do to make them even better? How can we serve them more? If no, then we're going to audit the account, look for misalignments or disconnects. It could even be a glitch. I can't even tell you guys how many times I've a campaign hasn't been getting good results from our end, and then we look and like maybe we set up a lead form wrong, or like something was disconnected, or like there was just a glitch and we had to just republish the campaign, and then it started doing really well. So just audit the account, look for misalignments, disconnects. Really just make sure everything makes sense from the perspective of a prospect, right? Like somebody seeing the ad from an outside perspective, like make sure it makes sense, make sure it's something compelling, something that people want to be interested in, and just at a base level, it feels right. Like your campaign shouldn't feel like, oh, this is messy and it makes no sense. Like if that's how it feels, that's how other people feel too. So it should feel like, this is solid. Like who wouldn't want this? Straight offer, good way of communicating it, and like good creative. There's no reason this shouldn't work, right? That's how you should see most campaigns. Has it been at least 8 to 21 days before evaluating performance? Sometimes we just got to let these campaigns run, just depending on the situation, and especially depending on when we launch. So keeping that in mind as well too. What can we do to improve performance? Is there, do we need more budget? Is it an ad set thing? Is it a creative thing? What can we do to improve the performance? If it's a small, trick or something that we can do as far as republishing a campaign or maybe testing out some proven creatives, then we should do that. And keep optimizing it. And then set a strategy call with the team to discuss optimizations. also known as a GSD, get shit done session. Boom. And if they're still not getting good results from our perspective, well, actually, this one goes at a different place. So that's pretty much it. We'll set a strategy call to discuss optimizations, and then we'll get those optimizations done. We'll work with the client, and if we have to, we'll revamp the strategy. Number 2 KPI. Are they communicating those results and sharing their wins? I'm going to highlight these because these are so important. I think about this every day. Are they communicating those results and sharing their wins? Are they telling us like, yo, these leads are good? Like, hey, we're getting a lot of results. Like, hey, it's been busy, like anything like that. If yes, celebrate with them, build with them, ask for referrals and reviews. Look for opportunities to stack, more campaigns, upsells, increase budget, etc. If no, refer to the also increase budget, align with North Star goal here. If they're doing well, it's like, hey, we're right on our way to whatever their main goal is, right? If we keep this pace up, we're going to get you to whatever their main star goal is very soon, right? If no, refer to the how to reconnect with a client training that I'm going to do. That's going to be all about that, how to reconnect with a client that we lose touch with. And where do I actually have that? I don't know. I got it somewhere, but I'm going to do a full training on that too, as far as when a client's disconnected from us, like they're getting good results from our end, but they're disconnected, how to reconnect with them. Okay. And if they're not getting good results from their end or our end, then we just have to go to one. So if one's good, two, are they communicating those results, sharing their wins? So it's basically not just are they communicating those results, but like, does the client feel like they are getting good results? That's more what it is. Do they feel like they're getting good results? Is it feeling like it's going in the right direction? Because we have to make sure it feels like it, and if not, then we have to do a little bit of recorrection on their mindset. It could just be a coaching thing, could be a perspective thing, could be an expectations thing. So we want to make sure that they're you know, in the right frame of mind for this stuff. Otherwise, the system just won't work. Number 3 KPI, do we owe the client any work, follow through, or due diligence? If no, perfect, continue on retention and reporting flow. If yes, how can we move that forward today and right now? Remember, always taking initiative. So that's these are the 3 main KPIs, guys. Like, you can look at any client on their account and just say, are they getting good results from our perspective? Yes. Does the client feel like they are getting good results? Yes. Are they communicating those results? Yes. Perfect. Do we owe them any work, follow through, or due diligence? No. Perfect. Then go to the next client. You know, that's the goal. That's where it should be. Every business needs to book appointments, close those appointments, and deliver and fulfill upon the service. So we are in the booking appointments stage. That's what we do, but they still have to close those appointments and deliver and fulfill on the service. But a lot of times, in order for them to close the appointments that we book, they need to have a good delivery and fulfillment process. So it's important that you just understand how their business is structured, how the dealership works, how the client operates, how they make money, things like that. And just so you can know when you're talking with them, like, hey, you know, how's staffing going lately? You know, like what's the main thing taking up their time, and just understanding that as we're going through and connecting with them, so you can help them to do more of number one, and you know, or so you can help them do more of number two by because we're going to be booking a lot of appointments. So just know that at a simple core, if a business isn't successful, there's a problem, there's a bottleneck in one of these 3 things. They're either not booking enough appointments, quality appointments, so that's on us to help them figure out. Maybe it could be the offer, could be the creative, could be the framework, could be the targeting, could be the messaging, so all those things have to be in consideration. Or they could have a problem with their closing, which is sales, which is customer service. Like there's a lot there. And then if they have delivery and fulfillment service issues, then that's a big problem too, because then they won't have capacity to actually close the appointments that you're booking. So it just has to make sure that everything is on point, that they have a good closing process, that they're closing at a good rate. They have guys that are hungry. They have a process. If they don't really have a process and they just tell you like, yeah, oh, I can close. Oh, I can close. Like then you probably know they're not very good. But if they're like, yeah, we're closing at about 20% or, those kind of things, if they're tracking it and they have a process, likely they're going to be good with that stuff. So just some things to keep in mind. Always make sure the clients know what we're doing for them. That goes back to leading the process. Just always making sure we're telling them what's going on. And I'm going to put that where it makes more sense, which is going to be more or less right here is where actually this makes more sense. Especially after we do like a get shit done session over the client, or we talk about a new strategy, we need to maybe approve a new offer or something. We want to make sure the clients know what we're doing for them, leading and explaining the process. Like, so it's just, hey, we met, we talked about these things. This is what we're going to try. We'll get some new creatives built out, and then we'll get in touch with you. If you could film us a video, we need that by Friday if you want to add that in the campaigns, and we can help you to edit that as well. So, just whatever it is, we need to make sure we communicate the process. And remember, when you're doing optimizations and work on client campaigns, if you don't notify the client or notify somebody on the team to notify the client, it's like we never did it. It's like it never happened, both from the team's point of view, from my point of view, and from the client's point of view. So you have to make sure that when you're making optimizations, you're making adjustments, at the very least, you just tell clients, hey, I optimized a few things on your ads. Things are looking really good, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Outside of that, you've got to be able to, okay, so we're going to do weekly coaching sessions with me and Salman. Once a week. I'm going to do like every other week or every 3 weeks or something like that. We're going to work it out. It's not official yet, but we're going to add this in so that, people can get on a coaching call, kind of a group format, and then we're going to record that call and use that for content. So we can have different pillars where if it's, it should be just Q&A, a session where they can jump on and they can go into their specific campaigns and accounts. But if not Q&A, then we can go into, if nobody shows up, which is likely, then we can just go into, doing some work and kind of explaining it, like doing some fulfillment, explaining it, and using that for content or using that to teach other people on the team. So that's something you can do as well on those coaching sessions, but really it's going to be for our clients, and eventually they'll pick up and more people will join on them, where we can have people on there and we can just be going over stuff, working with them, telling them these analogies, helping coach them through with follow-up, because the same problems that we have, they have, businesses, struggle really similarly in a whole. So we want to just be there for them and supporting them and connecting with them, networking and being there for them in any way we can. Monday motivation loom video from Nate. Pretty self-explanatory. Every Monday I'm going to start next Monday to send out a Monday motivation video talking about lead follow-up, talking about, success, different things that I'm learning, just connecting with them, just getting in front of them and just showing them we're here and that we care and that we are thinking about them. Always leading the way. Communication is key. We talked about that like a bazillion times. I think I put that everywhere in this document because it is so important. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna make a video on this. And let's do a video on this too. It's kind of gonna all go into the deep dive of fulfillment, right? Okay, accountability. We need to make sure that our clients are calling and texting back all leads, and we can reference 2 studies And you can just tell them that we reference these studies because it gives us some kind of like validity when we tell them what to do. But basically, we just want to tell them like, hey, look, you need to follow up with every lead within 5 minutes. The way we do things is we actually follow MIT and Harvard business best practices studies that talk about lead follow up, and this is what the findings are. We can actually share those with them as well. I'm trying to find. Damn. Trying to find that the studies. I had this guy send them to me. Oh, also look at how they have this in their Slack channel. They've got these bookmarks and they're actually really sick. We need to get some bookmarks for different things in our Slack as well. Oh, here they are. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna link this. This is the MIT Lead Response Management Study. So this actually goes super in depth, talking about lead management, contact time, dial attempt, call, dial. Like it talks about everything. Like the odds of calling to contact a lead decreased by over 10 times in the first hour. The odds of calling to qualify a lead decreased by over 6 times in the first hour. After 20 hours, every additional dial your salesperson make actually hurts your ability to contact to qualify a lead. So speed to lead is so important. That's why we're now offering an additional follow-ups service where we'll follow up with their leads for them. So yeah, that's huge. Let me just drop that in here, the study we reference. So holding them accountable, reference studies, MIT business, lead management study, give them some hard data. And then on the accountability side, also the lead follow-up, we have the lead follow-up playbook. Perfect lead management playbook. Boom. Link. Boom. Make sure they have this resource, and it's also in the left-hand side of our Go High level, but just whenever they need help with follow-up and things like that. Shift perfect lead management playbook. Whoops. I love this so much. Whoops, that got checked up somewhere. Boom, that looks so good. Boom, and then we have reducing no-shows. A guide on reducing no-shows. Boom. Let's add that in there as well. These are just things to provide our clients and also make sure that you guys look through this stuff. You guys should all know this stuff really well, right? Making sure our clients report wins to us. I'll mention it here because I didn't mention it above. So when our clients report wins to us, obviously make sure that we screenshot those, share those internally and externally. I'll talk about that a little bit, but one of the main things is to extract the wins from them. You can ask them either on a TLC call or on a Zoom call. Make sure it's recorded. Honestly, like this, if they're gonna, tell us about the wins, we should record them, right? So but with those, we're going to go right here and we're going to ask them these questions. How has everything been working with our team and all that? How's the service? What could we do to improve? What would you have to say about us to a close friend about signing up. What would you say to someone who is on the fence about signing? I love asking these questions. You get some really, really good unscripted testimonial answers by asking this to people. They'll give you super, super good answers in most cases that lead to really good unscripted testimonials. Accountability, and this is like, so reporting wins to us, making sure they share wins, and getting them to see success. So sometimes you'll have to make these guys see success too. You'll have to break it down. Wow, we're booking a lot of appointments. Have you guys been busy? Oh, are you busy? Oh, yeah, we've been busy, but we don't really know where it's coming from. Oh, well, are you usually this busy in May? No, not really. So do you think maybe it's from the advertising you started doing a month ago? Oh, you know what? Yeah, actually, I guess that does kind of make sense. We have gotten busier since we turned it on. Huh. Like honestly, it sounds crazy, but sometimes people literally get so busy and they're like, "Oh, I got more orders. I gotta like sell this car. Like I gotta fulfill. Like I got financing. Like whatever." And they literally don't realize that they're so busy because of the marketing they turned on or what you're doing. So like you literally have to make them actualize success. So making sure they're doing that and then reporting wins to us. Okay, well, let us know when you sell a car, please, so we can track that back to the actual ad we're running and make things better, plus tracking attribution and things like that, right? So getting them to report their wins to us. Let me actually put this somewhere else because this is a little bit different, like how to get unscripted testimonials. Yeah, let me put that somewhere else. Here we go. Boom. All right, cool. So, collaborating yet still trusting. We must always lead. So we're collaborating with them, but they have to trust us. So we have to always lead. Like we can't let them take over and start being like, well, I want to do it this way. We need to have the picture over here. This is how we want to do the creative. Whatever they want doesn't matter because that's not the proven process they hired us to do. They hired us for a reason. If they wanted to do it themselves, they would. So we need to just make sure that we're doing our part and leading the way, yet still trusting. And so when they want to get a little bit off center to our strategy and throw something in there that's kind of a curveball, you might have to escalate the matter up to an account manager, client success manager, or me, where we'll basically tell them, hey, look, I get it. You want to do this, but maybe that's a down the road thing. Or, hey, look, Mr. Client, I totally understand this is important to you, but what's important to us is getting results. And we know this is the way to get results. So we're going to move forward with our proven process. And we just need you to trust and understand that we're doing this because we know this works. And we don't want to, run your marketing on a system that's broken, something like that, right? So collaborating yet still trusting. So like we can take their advice. Like if they have ideas on offers, like sometimes they know more, or all the time, mostly they know more about their business than we do, of course. So they know about programs, incentives, offers, things that we don't know about that we can add to give our ads a little bit of flair and to also add to our marketing system or to get ideas around other potential ways that we could layer on success for them. Communicating, I'm not going to say it again. I've said it 1,000 times. Communication is key, and that's a two-way street. So two-way street, we're going to be communicating with them. We're going to be making their goals important to us. They need to be communicating with us too. And I just thought of something else. Oh yeah, let me just add this right here. One sec.